Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah, today we are going to start a new chapter. It's called indexing. It's part of the physical database design. And you remember we talked at the beginning of the semester, we start with requirements, then we have conceptual design, then we have logical design, then we have physical design. So in fact, the three chapters that we talked, the last two chapters, which is the normalization chapter, plus the database storage chapter, is part of the physical database design, and today also it's part of the physical database design. So let's do that. Now, what is this chapter about? This chapter is about indexing. If you want to search something without indexing, it will take you 9 days. You remember the Chinese table, for example? So big table, if you want to look for a particular person or for a particular row in that table, it will take you 9 days. We cannot sign, no one can use a database with that kind of delay. So what do? This is what we do. Assume I have a table. And let's say this is a Chinese population table. Let me call it CPT or the employee table. We are still, let's take the employee table. Which is this table here. Do you see this table? Okay, so comments. So we have SSN, we have last name, we have middle initials, we have first name, we have how many columns? We have 10 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 columns. So when I write a select statement, when I say select star from the employee table where the SSN equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. Assume this employee table is not only 8 rows, but it is millions of rows, مثلا. Okay, let's say 10 million rows, مثلا. Now I am going to look in this 10 million rows for a row whose SSN is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So how do I find him? One way to find him is you have to go what? Block by block. So let's say these are my block. This is my disk. This is my disk. And the employee table is stored in many blocks. So what do? I have to go block by block and search for what? What am I searching for, Shabab? What's my condition? My condition is this, SSN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, مثلا. Up to 9, sorry. So I'm looking for this SSN. So I will take this SSN, and then what do? I think I will go to this block and find, is he here? No. Is he here? No. Is he here? No. So I have to find him one by one in every block where the employee table is stored. Okay, especially if it's a heap, so that will be time consuming. So what do we do? To avoid going block by block, to find whatever I am looking for very quickly, I create something called index. So what is an index? An index is simply like these tables. It's a table, but that table contains most of the time only 2 columns. So what are the 2 columns? One of the columns is going to be one of these attributes. It can be SSN, it can be birthday. Just choose which one you want to create an index up. So let me choose SSN, for example. Then I'm going to create my table out of the SSN like this. So I'm going to create a new table like this. This is an index, Shabab. And this table contains only 2 columns. So an index is just a table which contains 2 columns most of the time. What is the first column? The first column is the attributes that you want. So for example, this can be SSN. Choose any of the 10 attributes. What about the second? It is a block number. Block number, which is, it can be this block number or this one or this one. So let me just call it a block number. You remember blocks are numbered. Block number 0, block number 1, block number 2, block number 3. So what do we put here? we put here all the employee SSNs. For example, look at this table. How many SSNs عندي؟ عندي 8 صحيح. These are 8 SSN. خذ ال 8 SSN and put them in the index. Only the SSN. So SSN number 1, SSN number 2, SSN number 3, SSN number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8. And for each SSN, find out where this SSN is in the disk. Maybe this SSN, maybe this row. معناتها in short, SSN لما أقول لك it represents the row. Now, where is this row? In which block is this row? Let's assume this row is in block number 4. Let's assume this is block number 99. Let's assume this is also in block number 4. Let's assume this is in block number 3, and so on. So what do? You take each SSN and find out in which block it is and write the block number of it. So, for example, the first one is in block number 4. So he's in this block. The second one, maybe he's in block 99. Assume I have many employee IDs, but not only this. So I have another block 999. So هتلاقي الرو هذاك موجود هنا. And the other block number 4, and so on. Put the block numbers here. So this is what we call indexation. So it's the subset of the table. It only contains one of the columns of the table, and for each value of that column, it will find out where it is in the block. So the second column is a block number. The first column is one of the SSNs. But I must have all the SSNs here. Is this clear what an index means, Shabab?
Sorry, can you repeat, Doctor?
Yeah, an index is just a table which contains 2 columns most of the time. What are these 2 columns? The first column is one of the attributes. For example, this column is the SSN column from the employee table. And for example, this is my employee table, and I want to create an index. طبعا index هيساعدنا في النهاية ايش for searching. It makes searching very fast. So I don't have to spend 9 days to search. It will cost me maybe less than a second to search any Chinese person. And I will show you how to do that one. You do that one by creating an index. So what's an index? An index is a table which contains 2 columns. So I'm going to create one index on SSN. So I'm going to create a table which contains 2 columns. One is one of these SSN values, and the second one is a block number. Again, this, and it's block number. Again, this. So what I have is only one column here, but the second column is a block number. So this is SSN, and this is a block number, had some new index. Why are we creating an index? Because we want to make the search very fast. We don't want to spend 9 days to find one Chinese record. We will do it in less than a second. And I will show you how to do that one today by creating indexes. So first of all, let's understand what an index is. An index is simply a table which contains most of the time 2 columns, and it will have 2 columns, and that's what it is. So I can create one index for SSN. So this is SSN based index. I can create another one for first name also. So I will put all the first names of all the Chinese people, millions of them. And where is this guy? He's in here. What about this name? He's in this block. What about this name? In this block. What about this name in this block? So this will be what? This will be the first name, and this will be the block number. So always the second column is the block number. I can create another index also based on birthday. I can create index based on last name. So I can have one index in another. So I have 10 columns. I can create 10 different indexes. So simply what I want you to understand is an index is just a table which contains most of the time 2 columns. The first column is one of the attribute values. The second column is always a block number. هل هذا واضح يا شباب ولا أنا up to this point?
Doctor, I have a question about this point.
Yes, please.
Does the first column has to be unique?
No, it doesn't have to be unique. For example, if it is like SSN, it will be unique, sir.
Yes.
But if it is first name, so I will have Alicia, and I also, well, let's say, do I have repetition? I can have repetition here, it doesn't matter. But this Ahmed can be in block number 59. Maybe the other Ahmed maybe can be in block number 39, and so on. So
It's
if I have
efficient.
10 Ahmed's, I have to write all the 10 of them in the index.
It's not less efficient if the name repetitive or.
Oh yeah, the problem is we are going to use this one for searching فهمت علي, but how we implement it هنتكلم عنه بعدين إن شاء الله. Don't worry, okay? But for now, what I want you to understand is that even if the name is duplicated, he will be filled index. So the number of rows in the index will be equal to the number of rows in the table. For example, this table contains how many rows? It contains 8 rows. So when I create index on first names, I must have all the first names, 8 of them. When I have SSN, I must have an index. If I create an index for SSN, I must have all the SSNs. So what I'm saying simply is, I will have 8 rows here, but only 2 columns. 8 rows here, but only 2 columns, and so on. So if I have duplicates, for example, if this is Ahmed, this can also be Ahmed. It depends, because I need all of them. So columns which have duplicates, we will have also index which are duplicates. Is that clear for you ولا لا? It's not efficient. ده هتكلم عنه بعدين إن شاء الله. Don't worry. It depends how you implement it. But for now, let's assume that an index is a table which contains 2 columns. The first column is one of the attributes. It can be SSN and so on. And the second column is the block number. Then you take every SSN and put it where it is in the disk. Every SSN is a disk. So if I have 8 SSNs, put 8 all of them and put where are they? They can be all in 44444, or they can be in totally different disk blocks. هذا النقطة هذه واضحة شباب before I go to a different thing. Is this clear? I know it looks stupid. I know it looks inefficient, but it will be clearer inshallah when we go along. So all I want to put in your mind today is simply an index is a table which contains 2 columns most of the time. يعني. The first column is an attribute, the second column is always block number, where that attribute value is residing. Is this point clear, Shabab, or do you have any question before I go forward?
It's clear.
Very
clear.
Excellent. Now, where is that index طيب موجودة? The index حتى موجودة كمان هنا. Okay? So what will happen is even this one will be stored for the disk. So in fact, let me tell you the following. So I am going to have also blocks. Let me put them red in color. I don't know how many of them. So these red blocks will contain the index. The black blocks will contain the data. اللي هو هذا الداتا. Data معناتها فيه كل حاجة. First name, middle initials, last name. The whole record, they are stored here. So the whole 10 rows of each. Sorry, 10 columns of each one. So we will call this one data. هنسمي هذا data. وهنسمي هذا إيش بعد كده? Index. So what I am saying is the following. خليني أرسم لكم بطريقة أحلى شوية. So what I have is I have a table. Would contain the data. Many rows. Row number 1, row number 2, row number 3, and so on. And many columns. Let's call this one a data. Data table. So this is a data table. I'm going to have also, where is this data table? It will be stored, inshallah, in a disk. So I have a disk. It contains many blocks. So here it is heap يا شباب. I'm going to work only with heap today, okay? Heap معناتها data is not sorted. So معناتها my data, let me say, my data can be in this row. Some of them are here. Maybe 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 some of them are here. This is where let us this is my employee table. So employee data موجود هنا وهنا. Okay, and so on يعني. Now I'm going to create an index. Let me say on one of the attributes. Let's take this attribute. Let me call this one SSN مثلا. Let me call this one first name مثلا. So an index is also a table which contains how many columns قلنا? Only 2 columns. So take all the SSNs اللي في التيبل هذه ال SSN هذا وهذا 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 كلهم. Take them here. And for each SSN, where is he residing? هل هو هنا ولا هل هو هنا ولا هنا ولا هنا ولا هنا? Put his address هنا. Put his address هنا. Put his address هنا. So this index is based on SSN. So let me call this one. The first column is SSN, and this is block number. I can have another index which is based on first name. Let me call this one is the first name. FN معلش عشان to represent, so I can have another index on first name. Let me call this is first name. ما في SSN هنا. First name. So this is, let me call this one SSN index. DX معناتها index. This is first name index. نسميها ما مشكلة. FN index. This is the name of it. This is employee table. هذه table. هذا table but is index table. This is an index table. So put all the first names, all the 8 first names. If you have 8 records ناخذ كلهم هنا. بعدين الاسم هذا موجود في block وهذا موجود في block. So this is a block number again. So I can create another index for last name and so on, but let's just create 2 indexes for now. Now, where is this? Now this one may be in 2 or 3 blocks. Let's say maybe you will take this block, maybe this block, we will index, maybe this block, maybe 3. ياخذ لنا يمكن هذا ممكن تاخذ 3 blocks or more يعني. What about this? Where is it? This is also consuming blocks. Maybe it will take this block, maybe this block, maybe this block. So any index will create separate blocks يعني أي data حاله في separate blocks فكلهم موجودين. Is this point clear يا شباب ولا لا؟ Is this point clear?
So we don't need to make it for every attribute.
No, you don't have to. In fact, it is not a good idea to do for every attribute. It will consume a lot of time to do that. So you have to very carefully choose which attribute you want to index. So for example, if I have 10 employee attributes, I don't want to create 10 indexes. لأن it will consume space. At the same time, you have to update it. Each time I delete something, I have to update the index. Every time I insert, I have to insert في كل الindexes كمان يعني. So it will be very consuming, time consuming. Suppose if I insert a new row هنا, ودخلت new row جديد, what do I have to do? I have to add a new row هنا كمان, صحيح? I have to add also a new row هنا. So it becomes to insert هنا or insert هنا. So if I have 10 indexes, I have to insert into 10 indexes, which is time consuming. So it's not a good idea to create index for every attribute. You have to choose carefully which ones do you have to index. هل هذا واضح ولا؟ Very good question, excellent. Is that point clear يا شباب؟
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Inshallah.
Excellent. So from now onwards, what I am going to do is I'm not going to draw a block. مش هأرسم إيش. I'm not going to draw things like this. Okay. I'm not going to draw things like this. What I will do is the following. بعد كده, what I will do is the following. I'm going to use a block. هرسم البلوكس هنا يعني. Okay. This is a block. So if you see a black block, معناتها this is data block. معناتها it contains the data. So I can have many blocks. They contain data. These are the data blocks. These are the actual data as are. معناتها كل الروز هنا موجودة يعني. الفيرست نيم واللاست نيم كل حاجة موجودة هنا. كل الكولمز موجودة هنا. So I have the first one, the complete row. Now I will have other blocks. I will use different colors, and they are all 4K. هذا 4K وهذا 4K هذا 4K هذا 4K يا شباب. They are all the same. So I will put them like this one يعني. Okay شباب. So this, I don't know how many I will have. So this is for the index blocks. So from now onwards, this colored one will represent index blocks and the black ones will always represent the data blocks. هل هذا فاتح عشان بعد كده لما ارسم انا حاستخدم هذا عشان يكون سهل بالنسبه لكم عشان تعرفوا. But I will repeat again يعني. But so maybe this can be block number 15. This can be block number 7. This can be block 1056. This block can be block 79 and so on. So they don't have to be block 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, they can be. Okay. What about this? This can be block. Block 15 here, so I cannot have block 15 here. Maybe this can be block 14. Maybe this block number 77. اللي ما استخدمناهم هنا هنستخدمهم هنا يعني. And so on. So everyone is a block now. Is this clear for you يا شباب ولا لا?
So the data is stored in any technique like heaps
Heap.
or
Let's assume heap for me. Heap. They are not sorted. Okay? So in fact that is the most popular one. heap هو المحبوب. ليش؟ لما تفهم الاندكس هتشوف ليش هو محبوب. Okay? So we are going to use heap. We are not going to use hash and we are not going to use what they call with indexing. Okay? Hash طبعا already indexed خلاص يعني. So but with heap and with sequential we can make indexing. But today I'm going to only indexing for heap. Okay? Because that's the most popular one. Is there any other question before I go forward يا شباب? Okay. You are very nice. You don't ask questions, okay? I'm joking. Now, let me give you a question. Very, very important question. Exam question, homework question. The following. Let's assume the following. Let's assume that every employee record. How many employee records do I have? Employee records. Employee records. The records in the black. Records. Let's say I have 1 million employee records. Each record size. Let me call it R. Okay, record size, which is R. Okay, is equals to how much? Equals to, let's say each record is 400 bytes. 400 bytes. Let's say SSN لحاله takes 10 bytes. Oh, let me do that later on. خليها هذا الحين عشان ما. Record size is قلنا كم؟ 400 bytes. كل record 400 byte. These are records. This is bytes. And a typical exam question. In fact, this is what I'm going to give you also for your homework. 400 bytes. Block size B. Block size. Each block يعني قد ايش؟ block size equals to 4K معناتها 4096 bytes. 4K. The question is the following. In how many blocks is the employee record stored? In how many blocks is, so how many blocks do I need here? 1, 2, 3, how many of them? Tell me.
Just wait, Doctor, please.
Very good. I'll wait.
1 million over 4K.
Okay, let's no, we don't do spanning. Spanning معناته ايش? Every record must be in one block. I don't want records to be in two different blocks. So to do that, can I solve or shall I wait a little bit? أعطيكم فرصة ولا؟ First of all, how many قلنا هذا قد ايش هذا كبرها قلنا؟ 4006 هذه 4006 انزين. Each record قلنا قد ايش؟ 400 صحيح. So how many can I put here? So لو هي 4069 وكل ريكورد فيه كم؟ 400.
10.
Very good. Take the floor because I don't want to fraction معناتها I don't want to store 10 point something. I want to store exactly 10. 10 point something معناته ايش؟ جزء هنا وجزء هنا هتعمله. We don't want to do that one. I want every record in one block. So 10. معناته I can put 10 هنا و10 هنا و10 هنا و10 هنا و10 هنا و10 هنا and so on. But how many do I have? 1 million of them, صحيح? So if I have 1 million of them, and if I am putting 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, so how many do I need? So divide by 10.
100,000.
100,000, very good. So I need 10 to the power of 5 black blocks, okay, or data blocks, they will be 10 to the power of 5. Is this point clear? هل هذه واضحة ولا لا يا شباب؟
Yes, إن شاء الله.
Very good. I hope, Annie. I think it is easy, but I can be wrong. So I have been doing this one for تقريبا الحين 30 سنة. So for me it looks so easy يا شباب. Unless you ask me, I will not know. فهمت علي؟ كل ما طور المدرس في الجامعات كل ما نسى الطلاب يعني كيف يفكروا. Anyhow, coming back again to this one.
Doctor,
Yes,
I have a
please.
question.
Yes.
Is there any other way to do this calculations or just this way?
This is the only way you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This is the only way I want you to do it also. Okay. This is the correct way to do it. Okay.
Okay.
Now, let's find how many red blocks do I need. Now for this, what you have to do is, first of all, you have to know two information. I know that this will store indexes, صحيح? Now let's find out what are the indexes first of all. Let me just remove this. Let me clean this part. خلنا نمسح هذا. Okay. نمسح هذا. خلنا نمسح هذا. Now for the red, first of all, I need to know what is the records. What are the records of the red one? Let's say this, it was based on SSN. The index is based on what? On SSN. So how big is SSN? How big is one SSN? Let's assume each SSN equals to 10 bytes. But we don't have only SSN in the index. We have SSN and what? عندنا حاجتين. عندنا SSN وعندنا block number. صحيح يا شباب?
Yes. Yeah.
So let me assume that the
Block
block, exactly. So let me say the block number size is equals to 30 bytes. كل block 30 byte مثلا. اوكي يا شباب؟ عشان يكون الكالكوليشن سهل يا شباب. Let's assume this is only 4000. ما مشكلة 4000 ما مشكلة. It's okay. So SSN block number, SSN block number, SSN block number, SSN block number. هذا 10 بايتس وهذا 30 بايت. 10 30 10 30 10 30. How many SSNs do I have يا شباب؟
102.
How many SSN عندي؟ How many records عندي؟
1 million.
Million. So how many SSN عندي؟
1 million.
1 million. Very good. Excellent. Thank you. 1 million. هل هذه واضحة ولا لا يا شباب؟ هدفي ايش هو؟ ابغى اعرف how many red blocks عندي. انا عرفت ان عنده how many data blocks عندي 10 to the power of 5, but how many red blocks عندي؟ ابغى اعرف. So to know that, I need to know what are the records stored in there. This is a record stored. This is SSN. This is block number. So I want to know how many red. So what do I do? Let's assume first of all I have 10 to the power of 6 SSNs. عرفت ازاي؟ عرفت من employee records. I have 10 to the power of 6 employee عندي. So 10 to the power of 6. So معناتها I have 10 to the power of 6 SSNs. Is that clear يا شباب ولا لا؟
Yes.
Yes. Doctor, I have a question. What's the
sorry?
BN?
Sorry?
BN, what does it mean?
This is block number.
Block number, okay.
Yes. Remember I said that if this is your disk, it's divided into a block and every block has a number.
Yes, yes.
So this is a block number of where that SSN is. So this SSN is in this block number. This SSN is in this block number. So this is what an index is. I don't want to go forward unless this is clear for you, because كل ما مشينا قدام it will be what I'm building on this one. So make sure you understand this one before you go to the next one. Is this clear, Shabab?
Yes,
Doctor,
it's clear.
you said there is a rare records, right?
These are what?
Rare records, or
What do you mean by rare records?
I heard rare something. Can you repeat it?
Rare records.
The second one after employee 400, is it rare? I am reading rare.
What I have written, you mean?
Yes, the second line after employee.
Rec size, REC. Sorry.
Okay.
REC. I don't know what to do. I'm writing with mouse. It's not easy to write.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay. This is REC. Let me write it in capital. Maybe it's better than small. Sahih? No, you are right. You have to ask. Okay. I like to be asked, Shabab. I like to teach. Asking for me is, I like it. The only thing is I don't like students to not ask and then they go without understanding. So this is rec, this is size. This is employee rec. Records. How many records do I have? I have 10 to the power of 6. Block size, 4006. So every block is 4006. Whether it's index block or data block, we don't care. It's 4006. Now, if that is the case, Shabab, tell me, how many blocks do I need? I know now every record is how big, Shabab, here?
10 bytes.
10 plus 30, sahih?
Yes.
So this is 40. 40 bytes. So the index record is 40 bytes. Index سميها record REC يساوي 10 و30 كم؟ 40. هل هذا واضح ولا يا شباب؟
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
So if you know that I can put only what? Each one of them is 40, 40, 40, 40, and I know this one is 4006. Assume this is 4000 معلش عشان يكون سهل. 4000 وهذه 4000 وهذه 4000. How many of them can I put here?
102.
Very good, excellent. Let's say it's 100 عشان يكون سهل معلش في الكالكوليشن, okay? So each one of them is like 4096 طبعا. So it's 4096 divide by 40. Why 40? Because each one is 40, 40, 40. What I have is the index يا شباب. What I have is data. هل هنا 400 لأنه عندي first name, last name في كل حاجة في each record. I mean, I have for each record I have only what? SSN and block number فقط يعني. This is block number. So this is approximately 102. عشان يكون بس سهل هنا نعمل هذه 1000. ايش رايكم؟ 4000 وهذه نعتبرها كأنها 100 يعني. So if I can put 100 records here, another 100 records here, another 100 records here. So how many blocks do I need, Shabab?
10,000.
10,000.
Very good, 10,000. So I need 10 to the power of 4 blocks. ليش 10,000؟ لأن هذا عندي مليون. كل 100 بخط هنا، كل 100 بخط هنا، كل 100 بخط هنا. So مليون divided by how much? Divided by 100, which is 10 to the power of 2 in this case. So this is 10 to the power of 4, which is 10,000. So this is a number of blocks that I will need in the index. Is this clear, Shabab, or not?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Now let me ask you another question type. Let me have another index for first name. ناخد هذا أحمر. This is another index. ناخد بالبلو ما مشكلة. I have another index. حط هنا. This is based on first name. Based on إيش? Based on first name. Let me put it here. Let's say if first name is equals to 50 bytes. 50 bytes. Tell me, how many these blue blocks do I need? Do the calculation. I will give you 5 minutes.
$12,345.
Oh, maybe. I don't know how we calculated, but we will do it together, inshallah. Okay. Okay, we'll do it together. So قلت لكم هذا 50 بايتس معناته الاندكس البلو index, it will have 2 columns. This one is the first name, and this is block number. Always the second one is block number, whatever index you create. So first name, block number, first name, block number, first name, block number. قلنا first name يساوي كم؟ 50 بايتس. block number يساوي كم؟ 30 بايتس. block number is 30 bytes. So given that information, tell me how many blue blocks do I have?
12,195 approximately.
Okay. So let's do it the way you did it. يعني أخذت هذول جمعتهم صحيح؟ These are 80 صحيح؟ So 80 معناته إيش؟ This is 80 وهذا 80 وهذا 80 وهذا 80. I know this one is 4,000. So أقسم 4,000 على مين؟ على 80. So it means 50.
51.
Yes?
Yes, 50. Yes.
Yeah, so I will put 50 here. I will put 50 here. I will put 50 here, and so on. So how many of them do I need? How big are them? How many first names do I have?
We have 20,000. 1 million divided by 50.
1 million, very good. So I have 1 million first names because I have 1 million employees. And I am putting each 50 of them in one block, صحيح?
Yes.
So this will give me how much?
20,000.
20,000. Yes.
20. Very good. Is this clear?
Yes. First
So
time I forget to add. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it takes time. It takes time to but now inshallah it's clear. Yeah. So I have first name index, which is equals to 20,000 blocks, SSN index, which is 10,000 blocks. The data itself, it is how many? 100,000. Is this clear, Shabab?
Yes.
Very good. So this is how we calculate what? The size of indexes in the disk, how many disk blocks in the Nasahi. So what I mean is now the following. Just let me just clean this, معلش. So if this is my disk, so these are the black blocks, which are all 4K. كل block 4K, whether it's black, whether it's green, whatever it is. Okay, maybe this is black, maybe this is black, maybe this is black, maybe this is black, maybe this is black. I also have red, which are the SSN index. This is red, this is red, this is maybe red, this is maybe red. So the red, they contain what? They contain the what they call the SSN.
And block number.
Sorry?
Index and block number.
Exactly, index and block number. So it's the SSN index. And I have another one, which is a first name index. And few first name, few first name, few first name. So this is how your disk will look like طبعا. وفي عندك طبعا محلات فاضية يعني لسه فاضية يعني نخليها green هذه ما عندهاش حاجة يعني. Okay? So it doesn't mean you have filled the disk. You can create so many tables. Or they come, maybe the green ones are for other tables. Okay, not for the employee table. Yeah. Anyhow, this is how your disk will look like. So if you look at your disk blocks, which you have, and if you have terabyte of disk size, and you will have billions of disk blocks, and then this is what's going to happen. This is how you calculate the size of index, and this is how you calculate the size of a data. Is this clear, Shabab?
Yes, دكتور.
Okay, very good. So now, if you don't understand this, you will not understand the next step that I'm going to take you. Okay, so make sure that you ask me before I go to the next, which is a much more difficult step. Is this clear? Shall I go to the next step? Okay, السقوط من الردى. So we'll go to the next step. Okay, so let me take you now to the next step, which is the most difficult step. If you don't understand the step, forget about the next step. Okay, now what is the next step? This is what you do. You created a red index, which is based on SSN. Now, always index is sorted. You have to sort index. Data is not sorted. So the data is heap, but index is what? Is sorted. You have to sort the index. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the employee SSNs, which is 10 to the power of 6. So going to 10 to the power of 6, isn't it? And sort them. The same thing also for the first name. So let me have an Excel sheet. I'm going to create an index table for Excel sheet. So this is going to be SSN. So this is SSN, and this is going to be block number. So I have different SSNs. Let's say I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 4, 7. Different SSNs. And so maybe this is in block number 4, maybe this is block number 19, maybe this is also in block number 4, number 5, 55, maybe this is in block number 34, block number 98, block number 1, block number 4, block number 98, and so on. We have millions of them, say you have 1 million, بس أنا حوريكم 9 منهم يعني. So this is an index, let's assume. It's a table which contains only 2 columns. So this is called SSN index. So indexes are sorted. So go and sort them. So I will go to here to data, and I will sort the index according to what? According to the SSN. So, but when I'm sorting 1, 2, 3, has to go with 4. I will sort all of them مع بعض. So what will happen is I will have header, sort NSSN in what? From the smallest to highest, so call. So 12 is the smallest SN, he's in block number 19, 76 is in block 98, 111 is in block number 4, 123 in block number 4, and so on. So as I told you, always indexes are sorted. By what? By SSN. If you have first name, you have to sort it by first name. So always indexes are what? Are sorted. Is this point clear, Shabab? Is this point clear?
Yes, sorted by SSN.
Very good, sorted by SSN. So how do we build an index? This is how you build it. So this is what you do. This is very, very important step. Then what you should do is the following. Let me clear this again. So once you have, let me create, let's say these are the data blocks, another data block, another data block. كم قلنا احنا؟ قلنا 100 million say 10 to the power of 5 data blocks. تذكر المرة اللي فاتت قلنا عندنا 1 million employees, so they are in 10 to the power of 5 data blocks قلنا ولا لا ايش؟ تذكروا؟ قلنا كده ان شاء الله تذكروا. Okay, so this can be in block number 55, this can be in block 98, this can be in block number 3, and so on. They are not sorted at all يعني. They can be random. كل ما اعطانا الاوبريت سيستم بلوك عبيناها and so on يعني. Maybe this can be in block number 111. Now let me have now the red blocks. These are the index blocks. قلنا كم يا شباب الاندكس بلوك؟ تذكر؟
For the SN?
For the SSN.
40 bytes.
40 bytes, so they were how many? 10 to the power of كم كانوا؟
Four?
I didn't count 10 to the power of 4 صحيح؟ كانوا كده تقريبا؟ Let's say that يعني. Are you with me يا شباب ولا؟
Yes.
Now, as I told you, you have طبعا عندنا هنا ايش؟ عندنا 40 في 4000 يعني كل 100 كانوا في بلوك وعندنا مليون اقسمها على 100 يعطيك كم؟ يعطيك 10 to the power of 4 صحيح؟ So I have 10 to the power of 4 red blocks and I have 10 to the power of 5 black blocks. Okay, is that clear? ولا do you want me to repeat something? Is this clear for you? Okay. So if you keep quiet for 1 second or 2 seconds, خلاص I will assume you understood يا شباب. Okay, this is what I will assume. What can I do يعني if you don't answer? Anyhow, but they are sorted. Let's assume this is block number 96. This is block number 3. This is block number 78. Do you have 78? لا ما عندي 78. And this is block 155 مثلا يعني. And so on. So what do we do? Do we stop here? No, we don't stop here. We are going to create index for the index command. طبعا don't forget this is sorted. معناته block 91 contain the smallest يعني هذول اول هنا اول هذول مع بعض يكونوا ايش؟ هذول الاندكس هذا عن اندكس هذول ما يكون في بلوك نمبر 96 اللي بعده يكونوا let's say في بلوك اللي بعده and so on and so on. So the blocks are this is how they are. This is very important point. So 96 contains the smallest blocks. 3 contains اللي بعدهم. The highest SSNs موجودين هنا because we sorted them. These are not sorted فما نعرفش هنا but here they are sorted. So it means block number 96 contains the smallest SSNs and block 155 contains the highest SSNs. So this is how they are sorted. So if you want the smallest one, you have to print this one first, but then if you want sorted order, you have to print this one and so on. Is this point clear ولا لا يا شباب? Is this point clear?
Yes, clear. Thank you.
Very good. Now we don't stop there. What do? We are going to create the second level of the index. So the index have levels يا شباب. So what does it mean? It means I'm going to have another level of indexes. This is what makes it fast. But what do I put here? Again, you put SSN and B number. ما فيش فرق. نفس الشيء. So what do you put? You put again, even the second one will have SSN and block number. So the same thing يعني ما فيش ما فرقتش يعني. But what do they contain? They only take the first one from here, 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 the first one from here. How many can I put here يا شباب? Tell me. You remember قلنا ايش؟ نقدر ناخذ 100 صحيح؟ تذكر قلنا SSN or block number is only 40 bytes معي ولا ايه؟ And a block size is 4,000 bytes. So I can put, so take 100 first. Take the first one from here, 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 the first one. لو أخذت الفirst one حيكون عندي كم يا شباب؟ Tell me. So in the second level, I will have how many records يا شباب؟ How many records حيكون عندي؟
10,000.
10,000, very good. So there will be 10,000. Why 10,000? لأن أخذت واحد من هنا واحد أول واحد أصغر واحد.
On every block.
So every block the smallest معك because these are sorted صحيح?
Yes, yes.
By the way, these are sorted. This is the smallest of all these blocks. This is the smallest of all these blocks. But this record is higher than everyone here. You should understand that. So this is the smallest. This is the largest here. But the largest here is more than the smallest here. So this is the smallest, this is the smallest, the smallest. So take the smallest from block 96. Take the smallest from block number 3. So if you do this, you will have how many of them قلنا؟ 10 to the power of كم قلنا؟ 10 to the power of 4. Why 10 to the power of 4? لأن البلوكس اللي عندي كلها ايش؟ 10 to the power of 4 وقاعد اخذ واحد من كلهم. I'm taking only one from each one of them, so I cannot take more than 10 to the power of 4. Isn't it? Is this clear?
Yes.
Very good. So what you should do is take the first 100 and store them here. Why 100? Tell me why 100?
Because the size
Because
of
block
Exactly, because this is only 40 40 40 صحيح. This is only 40 وهذا 40 وهذا 40 زي وزي هذا. So I can take 4,000. This is 4,000. So it can take the first 100. خذ the first 100 هنا. The second 100 هنا. But they are sorted كمان. Are they sorted يا شباب ولا لا? Are
Yes.
this? Yes, because this is this one. This is the second one. So keep them sorted. لأنه هذا أصغر من هذا وهذا أصغر من هذا وهذا صحيح. So all these 400 they are already sorted. So you don't have to sort again. Or just take this one first, then take this one next and second. صحيح? And so on. And do this following. Let's do the same thing. So how many blocks do I need, Shabab? Tell me.
1,000.
Let's see. Very good. So if I have, let's say all of them that I have is how many of them? I have 10 to the power of 4. And if I am putting 100 here, 100 here, and 100 here, and 100 here, divided by 100, this will give me how many?
100.
100. So معناته at this level, I have only 100. Don't stop, make another level again. So don't stop until you get only one block at the end. So what do we do next? Take the smallest one here, the smallest one here, the smallest one here, the smallest one here. So how many of them are they?
100.
Let me put them like a different color. 100 of them. So take the 100 of them. So if I take 100, can they fit into one block ولا لا يا شباب? Yes, because each one of them is 40, صحيح? 40, 40, 40. So 40, this is 4,000, so I can fit on one block. So let's assume this is block number 15. This is block number 1096. This is block number 78, and so on يعني. So take the first record. هنا أول record هنا. قول هذا موجود في block number 18. أول ريكورد هنا LSSN don't تاخذ البلوك نمبر وما يهمناش البلوك نمبر. وأول واحد هنا موجود فرضه أول واحد هنا سوري موجود في بلوك 1096. وآخر واحد ناخذ هذا آخر واحد هنا موجود اللي هو رقم 100 هذا. Let's assume he's in block number 97. So آخر واحد موجود في بلوك 97. So they are only 100, so I will take only the 100, but 100 they can fit in one block. ولا لا يا شباب؟
Yes.
Yes. 4,000 divided by 40. Exactly.
So in fact, if you look at this one, this is 18. معناتها this is really the pointer of 18. معناتها it's pointing to this one, say. This one is pointing to what? It contains 1096. وهذا طبعا it contains 78, صحيح? So the first one is 78. This is the first one in, and so on. This is the first one in 97. So if you look, this one looks like a B plus 3, شباب. And so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. And this is pointed to different ones. So I will talk about this one in next class, inshallah, and we will do this one. In fact, this is what we call a B plus 3, and I will show you next time, inshallah, in more details. Let's stop here now, because I saw the time is 9:54, so I don't want to delay you. Is this clear for now? If it's not clear, don't worry, I will repeat this one again. But I hope you will have a clue, inshallah. So in fact, an index is built like a B plus 3. Why did we call this one B plus 3? ايش اللي جاب مع B plus 3؟ المرجع هشرح لكم ان شاء الله. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Doctor,
Yes, please.
why we divide the blocks to multi-levels?
Multi-levels, because what we do is when we have a select statement from, let's say, the employee table where ID, when you give me ID, first of all, I will look for him here, then he will tell me, oh, he's in this block. Then this will tell me, no, he's in this block. This will tell me, no, you will find him here. So I can find 1, 2, 3, 4. In 4 disk address blocks, I can find any person that I want.
So to make it faster.
Very fast. And in fact, now I will show you when you build for the Chinese population table, اللي أخذ منا 9 أيام, isn't it? هتاخد منا less than 1 second anybody by his SSN.
Okay, thank you.
So we will talk about this one in the next class, inshallah. Okay, sorry for the Shabab. Thank you very much. I think I will stop here. So if you have questions, wait. Okay, let me just stop let me take attendance. عشان نمشي الناس. Download attendance. Now we are done with the class, Shabab. And let me stop the recording now.